Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide this Sunday evening. I'm Elizabeth Omori. The federal government will convene the National Economic Council Conference to strengthen Nigeria's economic coordination and accelerate inclusive growth. In a statement, the conference is scheduled for February 9 and 10, 2026 at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, to host governors of the 36 states and key national stakeholders. The theme of the conference is delivering inclusive growth and sustainable development. The Renewed Hope National Development Plan expected to produce far-reaching policy direction for the states as they align with federal government's long-term economic agenda. President Bola Tinubu will serve as the special guest of honor. Other government officials, development partners and private sector leaders are expected to participate in the conference to deepen reforms under the Renewed Hope agenda. Meanwhile, Nigeria has a strong advantage for success with the launch of the National Halal Economy Strategy, which aims to position the country within the lucrative global halal market, estimated at $7.7 trillion. Commending President Tinubu's foresight with the launch, the chairman, Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Sani Musa, notes that the strategy fits into the Tinubu administration economic reforms to boost non-oil revenue, diversify exports and create jobs. And several countries have successfully used halal frameworks to boost their economies. The National Halal Economy Strategy is expected to add $1.5 billion to Nigeria's GDP by 2027 and unlock billions more in domestic value. The Senate pledges full support for the initiative, which is projected to establish Nigeria as a competitive player in the global economy. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has directed the reconvening of plenary for an emergency sitting on Tuesday, February 10, 2026. A statement signed by the clerk of the Senate, Emmanuel Odo, indicates that all senators are kindly requested to attend. The emergency sitting will commence at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, in other news, the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy is strengthening collaboration with the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria to drive sustainable growth within the nation's aquatic sector. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, disclosed this in Abuja when he played host to the Executive Secretary of Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Dr. Abubakar Daban. Chukwunonso Nwabweze tells us more.
With over 2 million metric tons annual fish demand deficit, strengthening Nigeria's aquaculture sector to bridge this gap becomes very imperative as the country tackles overdependence on importation. This meeting between the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, and the Executive Secretary of the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Abubakar Daban, is to deepen joint initiatives that focuses on climate resilience, capacity building, as well as youth and women empowerment to drive sustainable growth within Nigeria's aquatic sector.
As the ministry pursues programs aimed at increasing domestic food production, improving livelihoods in coastal and riverine communities, and promoting sustainable fisheries and aquaculture, we are confident that under your leadership, the ministry will record a remarkable achievement, and ASN stand ready to contribute its expertise, institutional capacity, and nationwide research network to this noble task.
With fisheries and aquaculture research and training critical to achieving food security as well as job creation, Oyetola expressed the ministry's willingness to further engage with the council to develop clear framework for collaboration that will deliver tangible outcomes. Chukwunonso Nwabweze, NTA News.
For years, residents in some parts of Shandam local government area of Plateau State have been battling with a road that was more of a gully than a gateway. The narrative is, however, changing as federal government ramps up infrastructure development as the people are finally seeing the dividends of democracy. Usman Zubero, who is with the national media team, reports on the inauguration and inspection of road projects in the state.
This road has for long been an eyesore, but it is now witnessing the federal government's intervention. Residents say the ongoing construction is a lifeline, describing the development as a prayer after decades of advocacy.
And I want to assure you that we'll give every cooperation needed on this road. We want to still thank you for taking time to come here in this hot sun and supervise this project.
Excited because the road was so bad, but we thank God now I can travel from Kurugui to Kwande within 15 minutes.
The National Media Tour team was in Jos for continuation of national tour focusing on provision of infrastructure, a key component of the Renewed Hope agenda. Part of the engagement in the state was the expansion of ongoing rehabilitation of Babban Lamba Sharam Road, a 44-kilometer track barging road that will connect 4 farming communities when completed.
It's one of the Renewed Hope agenda projects that they were awarded, and the project is flowing smoothly.
The people of these communities that we have visited from Kwampan to Shandam and then to Kanke, that government will do its best to ensure that other roads too are reached.
2 emergency intervention road projects were also commissioned. Then a statement on embankment washout culverts at Kwande along Shandam Lifeyear Road and the repairs of double cells box culverts, Ashwat Lane and Shandam Ibi Road at the cost of over 1 billion naira. Usmansville, NTA News.
And our first port of call is Sokoto, where Asmao is standing by with some reports. Elizabeth, good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto on Nationwide. Sokoto is witnessing growing support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope initiative as observers highlight its positive impact across the state. The program is being credited with driving development and advancing progress in critical sectors, bringing tangible benefits to local communities. Delhatu Abdullahi reports.
The renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the 9-point smart agenda of Governor Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto are simultaneously creating new direction for Nigeria and Sokoto State in the areas of economy, good governance, human capital and educational development, among other initiatives aimed at repositioning Nigeria. The presence of Tinubu's administration could be seen in scholarship for students and the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, which is aimed at improving the economy of the country and revolutionizing the transport sector, in addition to employment generation for millions of Nigerians.
This issue of employment is improved, is given a boost to ensure that people's standard of living is enhanced and people are made to be self-sufficient. People are made to not only be self-sufficient, but also to be able to employ other people under them.
So trying to change things is not easy, and I think these matters are gradual. But as far as I'm concerned, I think so far so good. The president is doing well and the government is doing well.
If you look at area of road infrastructure, His Excellency has reinitiated this Sokoto-Badagry Way, which was formally awarded by President Shagari's administration.
Area of education, you can see the student loan being accessed easily and freely without any hitches.
The renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu is designed to carry every region along in order to move the country forward and take its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Determined to curb route violations and save lives on Sokoto roads, the Federal Road Safety Corps has impounded 82 vehicles for various offences. The seizures were made during a 2-day enforcement exercise in Sokoto metropolis. Abdullahi Umar Ilelu has more.
The rising incidence of road traffic crashes on major streets and highways, particularly within the Sokoto metropolis, has continued to raise serious concern among authorities and stakeholders. To checkmate this dangerous trend, the Federal Road Safety Corps embarked on a targeted enforcement operation aimed at addressing persistent route violations and reckless driving. During the operation, 82 vehicles were impounded for committing various traffic offenses, ranging from road violations to disregard for safety regulations. The FRSC Sokoto Sector Command warned that the Corps will not relent in enforcing traffic laws, stressing that strict compliance by road users remains critical to preventing avoidable crashes and loss of lives.
On the highway, there's no accident much, no accidents. But inside town, because of this route violation, there's a lot of accidents that is happening.
National Coordinator Special Marshals Muhammad Sanusi Wadata urged motorists to make obedience to traffic rules a daily habit, describing the persistent violations in the state as worrisome and unacceptable.
As a Special Marshals, to complement the effort, we are also among to ensure that we arrest every motorist, cyclist, motorists that are doing road violations.
The operation highlights the importance of responsible road use, as traffic regulations remain vital to safeguarding lives and ensuring safer roads across Sokoto State. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
And that is our package from Sokoto. We'll take a short break, and when we return, Nationwide will continue in Lagos thereafter.
Welcome back to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. This is Lagos Network Center. The Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, has renewed calls for constitutional rules for traditional rulers, saying their formal inclusion in governance is necessary to strengthen administration and enhance collaboration with government. Oba Ladoja made the call during a courtesy visit on the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakwe reports.
A visit by the Olubadan Oba Rashidi Ladoja is to appreciate Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and other stakeholders in Lagos State for the roles they played during his coronation. The monarch clarified that there is no rift between the traditional institution and the Oyo State government, but emphasized that assigning clearly defined constitutional roles to traditional rulers would strengthen governance and enhance their contributions to grassroots development.
I'm here to say thank you to Mr. Governor for the role he and the questions played during the coronation. They made it worth my while. And they also saw that the Ibadan people were unanimous on the fact that, yes, this is our new Olubadan. So you can understand that my ties with Lagos are very strong.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu described Ibadan as a rallying point of the Yoruba race and commended the Olubadan's leadership. He prayed for a peaceful and impactful reign, reaffirming the enduring cultural and historical ties between Lagos and Ibadan.
God will spare you, God will give you renewed energy, will give you strength, will give you wisdom to be able to rule and rule well. We are indeed happy that stepping out of Oyo State is Lagos, which you rightly said, which we are accepting and agreeing, which is the beacon of your own adulthood, that you remember us to come in and say thank you. We are indeed appreciative of it, sir.
The visit highlights renewed calls for unity and stronger collaboration between traditional institutions and government. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakwe, NTA News.
And now to infrastructure. The federal government is set to resume rehabilitation of expansion joints on Kwara Bridge along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This is following frequent accidents with faulty expansion joints on both the inbound Lagos and outbound Ibadan sections of the bridge. The Federal Ministry of Works is now notifying the public that the long-awaited repairs will commence on Monday, the 9th of February, to ensure the safety of commuters. Lanre Belay tells us more.
The federal government had commenced fixing of expansion joints on Kwara Bridge, but work was suspended due to heavy gridlock that caused untold hardship for motorists. However, the joints becoming weaker, thereby posing danger to road users, the government is remobilizing to the site. work is officially scheduled to resume on Monday, February 9, 2026. Speaking off camera, the Federal Controller of Works for Ogun State, Michael Komolafe, noted that the Minister of Works has issued a direct mandate to resolve the structural issue once and for all.
The government is going to embark on the rehabilitation of this expansion joint, and it's going to lead to a partial closure of the bridge. And the Federal Road Safety Corps explained how it's going to be done.
They have done one side of it. The other side of it, instead of taking it one after the other, we are going to do it simultaneously. At that point, we will have finished the inward Lagos section of the expressway. So everybody coming in will heave a sigh of relief. So the suffering will be once per time on each of the bridge segments. So by the time we move to the other segment, definitely we'll open the repair segment for traffic to move.
The Federal Road Safety Corps Sector Commander for Lagos Command used the opportunity to advise motorists plying the route to exercise patience and adhere to traffic diversions.
A situation where people will be driving against traffic, I want to tell them today, it's a warning. I'm not appealing, it's a warning. Anyone caught driving against traffic will be appropriately penalized and, if need be, taken to court of competent jurisdiction for prosecution. So that is where we are, and that is what we're going to do.
Providing a timeline for the projects, the head of the construction company in charge, Andy Duan, confirmed off camera that the inbound Lagos repairs will take 1 week, while the outbound Ibadan is expected to be completed within 2 weeks. In Lagos, Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja. Elizabeth, it's back to you.
Thank you so much, Awal. Now let's talk security. Vice President Kashim Shettima has visited Kwara State in the aftermath of the tragic terrorist attack that claimed over 100 lives in Woro and Noko communities of Kayama local government area of Kwara State. Aisha Abubakar Yaya has the reports.
President Kashim Shettima, who was received at the Babatunde Idiagbo International Airport in Ilorin by the Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak, assured the people of the state of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's resolve towards ensuring that those responsible for the terrorist attack at Woro and Nuku communities are tracked, apprehended, and brought to justice. The Vice President explained that efforts are also ongoing by the federal government to provide support to victims and coordinate security responses in the affected communities.
I'm here fundamentally to commiserate with the government and people of Kwara and the people of Kayama in particular over the tragic loss of lives, and to reassure the good people of the state of harmony that our prayers are with you, our empathy is with you. And the DG of NEMA, the President had instructed her to mobilize all resources in partnership with the State Emergency Management Agency to provide succor and support to our distressed communities.
The response of the federal government has been very swift. As confirmed by the local government chairman, troops are already on ground. The Operation Savannah Shield is in motion.
Scores of persons were massacred and many houses set ablaze in Woro and Nuku communities in Kayama local government area of Kwara State by terrorists, allegedly for refusing to surrender to extremists who preached a strange doctrine to them. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
Still talking security, the Benue Command of the Niger Police Force on the 6th of February 2026 received a situation report on an attack by suspected armed men in Eduko Icho in Akpa local government area of Benue State. The attack was repelled through the efforts of operatives of the Benue State Police Command attached to the Rapid Response Squad following intervention. The Commissioner of Police, Benue State Police Command, Ifeanyi Emenari, commended the officers and men of the command for the prompt response and professionalism across affected areas. He further reassured the people of sustained proactive and intelligence-led policing towards ensuring safety and security of lives and property across the states. Meanwhile, the Alumni Association of the National Institute, ANI, expresses deep concern over the recent surge of violent attacks across parts of Nigeria, including the tragic killings in communities in Kwara and Benue states, as well as the recent abduction of Wash person in Kaduna State, who thankfully have now been rescued through security intervention. Commending security agencies for the successful rescue efforts in Kaduna, the group says the recurring pattern of killings, kidnappings and violent assaults across several states heighten public anxiety, and this atmosphere of insecurity demands urgent, coordinated and strategic action, and it therefore calls for strengthened intelligence operations, enhanced interagency coordination, deeper community engagement and accelerated prosecution of criminal elements. And it says there's an urgent need for structural and police reforms that address root causes of insecurity. The drug interception, a 62-year-old Lagos-based businessman has been arrested at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency while heading to China with 95 jumbo-sized wraps of cocaine in his stomach. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim brings us details.
Excretion. So now I want you to
the businessman claimed to be in the clothing and auto spare part business in Lagos. He was arrested on his way out to China via Addis Ababa. He tested positive for ingesting illicit drugs and was promptly placed under excretion observation. During this time, he expelled a total of 95 pellets of the Class A drug in 7 excretions. He claimed that he engaged in illicit drug trafficking to raise enough money to complete the country home he is building in his village in Enugu State. In an attempt by 3 partners to smuggle consignments of methamphetamine concealed in MP3 speakers from Enugu to Abuja via Kaduna was fueled by NDLEA operatives in Abuja who intercepted the consignment in a bus. Similarly, NDLEA operatives at Anachi Petrol Point, Gusau local government area of Taraba State intercepted a 32-year-old suspect conveying packs of Hollandia yogurt used to conceal wraps of white powdery substance that tested positive to methamphetamine from Lagos heading to Mobi, Adamawa State. In Ibadan, a 40-year-old drug kingpin who owns a facility where he produces Colorado was arrested on Saturday, 7th February at Badeko area of Ibadan, along with his accomplice and a paraphernalia of exhibits. And in Kwara State, NDLEA operatives intercepted a fuel tanker conveying petrol from Lagos to Maiduguri, Borno State. A search of the truck led to the recovery of 395,400 capsules of tramadol concealed in parts of the petrol-laden truck while the driver was taken into custody. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Thank you, Salwa. And let's head to our Enugu Network Center for more reports. And Chika will be our guide. Chika.
Soko has come the way of over 1,000 households affected by fire incidents in Enugu North and South Federal Constituency through the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Uche Nannamere reports that the relief materials were attracted by members representing the constituency at the Federal House of Representatives, Chimobi Sam Ato. The report is presented.
Established to manage disaster by formulating policies, coordinating resources, provide relief and building communities' resilience, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in partnership with members representing Enugu North and South Federal Constituency, Chimobi Atu, reached out to victims of fire disaster at Ngo, Ugonyama, Ugwaji, and other communities in Enugu North and South Federal Constituency. Presenting the relief material to the victims, the Director General, NEMA, represented while commiserating with beneficiaries over their loss commended the lawmaker for standing in gap for the victims in this critical time of need.
We're here to do the assessment as been directed, and the DG promised to give aid to the communities, and DG did as she has promised.
In appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led administration for the prompt intervention, Representative Chimobi Atu described the support as timely and impactful, noting that it will help alleviate the hardship faced by the affected people.
The federal government decided to come to our aid because that's to show that it's a responsible government, because the primary aim of the government is to protect life and the properties.
By remembering we poor people, by sending NEMA for our help. So there is nothing we can do is to pray for him to continue the good work that he has been doing.
This man has touched many lives, and I say, as he's doing this, God will be elevating him more and more.
The relief materials distributed were bags of rice, salt, bags of gari, cartons of spaghetti, among others.
The United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and the Enugu state governments have signed a memorandum of understanding and financial agreement to set up a framework to eradicate poverty and achieve sustainable development in the state. Chika Ugo reports that the partnership, which focuses on strengthening some key sectors, will create opportunities and accelerate growth.
According to the resident representative of the United Nations Development Program, Nigeria, the MOU anchors Enugu State into the program's integrated Smart States Program, ISSP. The partnership is structured around health system strengthening, smart green schools, energy for development, innovation and digital economy, as well as trade and investment promotion.
We have repositioned how we work in countries here in Nigeria with some national governments, really moving from projects to portfolios, moving from aid to co-investment, from delivery and on to systems transformation.
Governor Peter Mbahu noted that his administration is committed to poverty eradication, expressed optimism that the partnership will be a fruitful venture anchored on transparency and accountability to help achieve the common objective of guaranteeing the future of the younger generation through standard education and sustainable development.
I'm happy that we're having this engagement with you because you can help us with the TA, with technical assistance to, bring this procurement in a manner that it is transparent, but beyond that, to also get value for money.
Both parties are confident that the partnership will translate into better service skills, more jobs, stronger enterprises, and sustained growth for the people of Enugu State. In Enugu, Chika Ubu, NTA News.
Let's pause for another break, after which Nationwide continues from Albini Network Center with Obey.
Nationwide, now welcome you warmly to Benin. As part of efforts to bring succor to citizens, the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu through the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has commenced distribution of relief materials to persons and communities affected by flood and rainstorm in Delta Central Senatorial District. The exercise was facilitated by Senator Ede Dafinone, representing Delta Senatorial District. Chinriri Okoli reports.
Senator Ede Dafinone, represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Dr. Justine Uloho, the Assistant Chief Relief and Rehabilitation Officer of NEMA, Benin Operations Office, Joseph Abofobe, alongside some APC stakeholders, distributed the items to the victims in Sapele, Udu, Ughelli South, and Ughelli North local government areas. The facilitation by Senator Ede Dafinone is in fulfillment of his election mandate and care for his constituents, especially those affected by 2025 flood.
If you look at what Mr. President is doing, it's very innovative.
I see him as the best president Nigeria has had so far. He's very innovative, coming with concepts that previous presidents don't have and they've never given to Nigerians. And the same message is I want the people to throw their full weight behind President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
If they do not make it fund possible, Neyman cannot have the ministry, the funds available to project this. So we must thank the president first of all to start with. That it's a good gesture, and we pray that God will give him the willingness to continue to do this and better the lives of Nigerians.
Beneficiaries and community leaders across the local government areas lauded Senator Ede Dafinone and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for their support.
Here we are with relief materials for the flood victims. We are very happy.
For this food, when you carry, can't give us all. God will bless you and God will liberate you.
Items distributed includes food supplies such as bags of rice, garri, beans, salt, spaghetti, seasoning cubes, canned tomatoes, vegetable oil, groundnut oil, and other essential household materials like mosquito nets, towels, and maternity dresses. In Asaba, I'm Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Ekiti State government has disbursed 34 million naira as relief assistance to 30 victims of fire disaster that ravaged some parts of the state in 2025. They are the second batch of fire disaster victims benefiting from the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA. Tayo Osho tells us more.
This is the second batch of victims of fire disaster that ravaged some parts of Ekiti State. Presenting the checks to the beneficiaries, the Deputy Governor Monisade Afuye noted that Governor Biodo Yebanji has taken innovative steps to fortify disaster management strategy at the grassroots through the successful inauguration of local emergency management committee across the 16 council areas of the state. She said this will not only ensure responsive emergency management to the third tier, but will also enhance effective prevention and prompt responses to emerging disaster cases, mitigating the levels of occurrences and sufferings.
While we are fully aware that no amount of financial support can completely replace what has been lost, His Excellency the Governor believes this intervention will provide a measure of relief and serve as a motivation for recovery.
The General Manager, Ekiti State Emergency Management Agency, and the Head of Operations, Ondo and Ekiti State's National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, expressed the determination to continue to support victims of various forms of disasters. The beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the state government for the gesture. Stakeholders appealed to residents to always ensure a safe and secured environment capable of preventing disaster in the state. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
That's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja. Elizabeth, good to see you. Good to see you too, Obey. Thank you so much. Now let's talk health. The federal government has reaffirmed that access to quality and affordable health care is a fundamental right of every Nigerian, stressing that no citizen should be left behind in the country's health care delivery system. The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Isaac Salako, who said this at the Nigerian Medical Association's annual lecture series and the launch of its 5-year national strategic plan, urges medical practitioners across the country to reposition themselves as catalysts for health system transformation, innovation, and improved service delivery.
That is standing on 4 pillars. The pillar of how do we improve our governance system? How do we strengthen our institutions? And how do we ensure better accountability? From strategy to impact, repositioning NMA as a catalyst for health system transformation.
The National Strategic Plan 2026 to 2030 marks a major milestone in the professional body's efforts to reshape the health sector in Nigeria, as it provides a comprehensive roadmap to strengthen medical practice.
Areas to be implemented across 24 objectives and 72 key activities.
To do this, then NMA will shift
from commentary to governance with credible influence and remembered not for strikes, but enemy will be remembered for systemic health transformation.
Their strategic plan is expected to improve the quality of clinical governance and accountability in Nigeria's health system, deepen institutional partnership, and drive health system resilience to drive better patient outcomes. Still on health, medical experts and concerned citizens in Kaduna are adopting strategies to halt mortality rate among pregnant women in the state. This effort is coming on the heels of disturbing statistics of number of women who die as a result of pregnancy complications. Zara Mohammed reports that the problem persists through Kaduna state government and has upgraded health facilities to allow pregnant women access free antenatal care.
Statistics show that out of 100,000 births, 1,000 women died in Kaduna. Government of Kaduna State has upgraded more than 100 health facilities, equipped them with modern facilities in addition to free antenatal care. Similarly, roads infrastructure were provided to open hard-to-reach communities to enable them easy access to health facilities. However, the concern is pregnant women in such communities are not accessing such health services. Worried by this ugly trend, concerned citizens under the umbrella of the maternal, newborn and children nutrition health champions in Kaduna embarked on advocacy to media organizations in the state to mobilize for support and enlightenment campaigns.
The purpose and our prayer for this visit is towards sensitization at every chance, please, to sensitize our women, the populace, even our men, to please encourage the pregnant women, the breastfeeding mothers, to utilize the health centers, to utilize the health facilities.
These champions are pushing for the eradication of mortality among pregnant women in Kaduna State, as obtained in other developed nations. In Kaduna, Zara Muhammad Sadiq, NTA News.
In other news, Nigerian Air Force is prioritizing improved health care package, affordable housing scheme and youth skill acquisition for serving and retired personnel. This was revealed by the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke at Apale with veterans, the NAF base in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Catching up on old times and recounting with nostalgia their years in active service of the Nigerian Air Force. First, their health was given priority through medical checkups, prescriptions and medications. Then, to the main business of the day.
The Chief of the Air Staff has convened this parley to engage, listen and learn from your wealth of experience. Through improved health and welfare initiatives, as well as opportunities for continued mentorship and engagement.
Though they are grateful for a parley that brought them together, they are like Oliver Twist as regards life after service.
And it's the government should make an arrangement for their post-housing from the one they come into service, so that when they retire, it will not be an issue. Even if it's mortgage, they'll be paying for it.
But the major problem we have is medical issues. The NHIS is not functioning. Actually, it's not really functioning. When you go, the highest they can give is Panadol, the rest you have to buy.
As regards the health of veterans, the Nigerian Air Force is setting up a veteran welfare center.
So there will be a call desk, there will be a veteran well-being center that you can walk to. Changing of NOK, you don't need to bother any field commander with it. You go to the veteran well-being center, you fill the necessary forms, and it will be done for you.
Some requests are already getting answers. The Nigerian Air Force has also initiated the Youth Empowerment Program for children of serving, retired and deceased personnel to equip them with vocational skills and stipends. Olajide Bello, NTA.
Now, behind every sortie flown, every intelligence analyzed and every mission executed, there are human beings with families, cultures and traditions worth celebrating. Those were the words of the former Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, at the Nigerian Air Force Base Social Activities 2025 held in Abuja. Once again, Defense correspondent Olajide Bello brings us details.
Away from the sky as guardians, it is time to do some groundwork, but in a more relaxed atmosphere. The base social activities marks the end of an eventful year and has become more than a social event, but a living testament to how unity and morale drive operational excellence. BASA is a unifying platform that promotes camaraderie, welfare and shared values within the Nigerian Air Force community as it strengthens bonds beyond the workplace and renew collective commitment to the service's mission.
This year's 2025 BASA showcases Nigeria's rich social diversity, cultural identity, values, beliefs and heritage, which resonate strongly with the core values of the Nigerian Air Force.
Behind every sortie flown, every intelligence report analyzed, and every mission executed, there are human beings with families, culture, and traditions worth celebrating.
According to the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, BASA 2025 closed on a note of pride and optimism, reaffirming that unity, mutual respect and shared purpose remain powerful tools in building a secure and prosperous nation. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Thank you, Judy. In other news, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has expressed optimism over the long-term plans of his administration to build frameworks which will make the state lead northeast in economic and infrastructure development by the year 2033. This was at a public lecture marking the 50 years anniversary of the state held at the International Conference Center, Bauchi. Zainab Abuola reports.
The lecture brought both past military and democratically elected governors of the state from its creation in 1976 and delegation of the European Union. The Golden Jubilee lecture exposed the long-term plans of the Bauchi state government to build framework to attract more investors that would yield to economic and infrastructural needs of the state.
Bauchi clearly is a product of shared responsibility. Yes, we are blessed with land. We are blessed with minerals. We are blessed with water bodies and a rich ecology.
Bauchi State was faced with this type of thing. Let's agree that in the next 5 years, say, where do we want Bauchi to be?
Beyond agriculture, Bauchi State possesses strategic natural assets that offer opportunities for economic diversification if effectively harnessed. In tourism, the state is home to Caribbean Reserve, and we know what is happening there.
A state which does not always make headlines at national level, especially when it comes to security incidents, which is a good sign.
It is not an achievement by one administration or by one party or by one individual.
The discussants emphasized on the need to prioritize the future of Bauchi State, irrespective of party and other divisional factors.
I came in here, there was nobody to hand over to me except relying on the permanent secretary's report.
So how you react is very, very important. And how you react is determined by your pedigree.
When I came in, Baba for the former emir of was my first SSG when Gombe State was created.
Honoring the past and building the future, which aims at promoting structural value for Bauchi State, is the theme of the lecture. In Bauchi, Zainab Agbola, NTA News.
In another development, the Bible Society of Nigeria, Abuja, Nasarawa and Niger States chapters are leveraging its 60 years foundation of evangelism to further spread the gospel of unity, peace and harmonious coexistence of citizens across the country. Omenka Amarachuko brings us details of a gathering by members in Abuja to celebrate 60 decades of the objectives.
For 60 years,
the Bible Society of Nigeria has responded to the challenge of limited access to God's Word by making the Bible available and understandable across Nigerians' diverse languages and cultures. This gathering of the Abuja, Nasarawa, Niger area reflects gratitude to God's faithfulness and a shared commitment to sustainable Bible translation.
The Bible Society of Nigeria has done a lot. Of course, there's still a lot of rooms for improvement, but I think we have every cause to celebrate our 60 years.
Within 6 decades, the Bible has been translated into 26 Nigerian languages. More importantly, available records indicate that more than 7.8 million Bibles have been distributed nationwide, expanding access to Scripture across the country.
I can see that the Bible Society has taken advantage of even the technology and is making impact and touching lives.
And you see, it is not an easy job to translate. Translation alone takes not less than about 7 years.
As the society celebrates 60 years of God's protection and guidance, the milestone renews its resolve to close the remaining gaps in Bible translation and ensure that God's Word reaches every Nigerian. Abuja, Omenka Machuku, NTA News.
The Renewed Hope International Horse Racing Derby has ended in Daura, Katsina State, with the horse Ramadan, owned by President Bola Tinubu, emerging overall winner of the tournament. The derby attracted competitors from Nigeria, the Republic of Niger, and Burkina Faso. It aims to revive regional ties, promote unity and cultural exchange. Awal Halil tells us more.
It was organized by the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria under the chairmanship of Tajuddin Aminu Dantata. Several prestigious trophies were contested for at the event, including those of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Governor Duko Umaru Radda, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Emir of Daura, and the Esu of Nupe. In the President's Cup, race number 23, Division 4, over a distance of 1,600 meters, the horse Ramadan, owned by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, emerged first, winning a salinka and a trophy. Laylatul Qadr, owned by SD Stable, finished second and went home with 1 million naira. Across races, first place winners received a salinka and a trophy. Second place winners got 1 million naira, while third and fourth positions earned 600,000 naira and 400,000 naira respectively.
This is the whole objective of organizing a race like this, to bring in the population closer, to make them enjoy the goodness of the equestrian sport.
Our races in the last 3 years, from the beginning of this administration, has always been Renewed Hope.
The Renewed Hope International Horse Racing Derby also showcased the long-standing equestrian traditions of Katsina State, while highlighting its role in promoting cultural tourism and strengthening regional unity. In Katsina, Awal Halaru, NTA News.
And next is sports updates.
Competitions for 5 athletes as a key strategy for the development of the sport in Nigeria. They made this submission at the second edition of the Interstate Fives Unity Cup Championship, which concluded on Sunday in Abuja, with Kebbi State emerging as the overall champions. Kebbi State dominated the championship, winning all 4 titles in the senior, immediate, junior and female categories. Katsina State finished second on the medals table with 3 medals. Kaduna State placed third with 2 medals, while host Abuja ended the tournament in 4th position with 1 medal.
Is to keep the youth agile, physically healthy, do this vigorous exercise.
To football, Nigeria's under-20 women's team, the Falconets, have taken a slim but crucial advantage in their quest for a place at the 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Poland, following a hard-earned 1-0 victory over Senegal in Abuja. Despite dominating light spells of the first leg encounter in this third-round African qualifier, the perennial World Cup finalists had only one goal to show for their superiority. That decisive moment came in the 51st minute when substitute Kindness Ifeanyi rose highest to power home a header from a well-delivered corner kick. The win gives Nigeria the edge heading into the return leg in Dakar next week, with the tie still delicately poised as both sides prepare for a first showdown in the reverse fixture. And finally, in few minutes from now, struggling Rivers United will be back in CAF Champions League action when they face Egyptian Giants and the defending champions Pyramid FC in a matchday 5 encounter in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. After 5 matches, Rivers United have managed just 1 point and sit bottom of Group A, leaving them effectively out of contention for a knockout round place. Pyramid FC top the group with 10 points from 3 wins and a draw, and need only a draw against the Pride of Rivers to seal qualification to the next round. Rivers United's hopes were all but dashed last weekend following a home defeat to Power Dynamos. With Sports Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And that ends the news. Thank you so much for your time.